Are you a Facebook user? You could get some settlement cash. Foxconn to sell Microsoft its $50 million parcel in Wisconsin. Chat GPT can predict stock moves from headlines. Japan has millions of empty houses. Want to buy one for $25,000? Japan approves plan for first casino. Macron seen singing in the streets after pensions address. Gen Z women are identifying as bisexual in unprecedented numbers. The Phantom of the Opera bows out of Broadway after 35 years.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Thursday, April 20th, and here are your top stories. Anyone in the U.S. who has had a Facebook account at any time since May 24, 2007 can now apply for their share of a $725 million privacy settlement that parent company Meta has agreed to pay. Meta is paying to settle a lawsuit alleging the world's largest social media platform allowed millions of its users' personal information to be fed to Cambridge Analytica, a firm that supported Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. It's not clear how much money individual users will receive.
The media reported the larger the number of people submitting valid claims, the smaller each payment will be since the money has to be divided among them. To apply for the settlement, users can fill out a form and submit it online, or print it out and mail it. The United States District Court for the Northern District of California has a webpage that refers to Facebook, Inc. Consumer Privacy User Profile Litigation, for FB users to submit claims. The deadline for submitting claim form is August 25, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Time.
Associated Press reported that Microsoft has agreed to buy a $50 million parcel of land in southeastern Wisconsin meant for Foxconn after the world's largest electronic manufacturer failed to fulfill grandiose promises to build a massive facility that would employ thousands of workers. The company created 768 eligible jobs and made a $77.4 million capital investment by the end of 2021. According to a fact sheet compiled by Southeastern Wisconsin Economic Development Group, the 127-hectare parcel is part of a tax increment financing district.
The county said Foxconn spent $60 million to help Mount Pleasant officials buy the property to create the district. The media said that Foxconn would receive the proceeds from the land sale to Microsoft as partial reimbursement of what Foxconn spent to acquire land for the district in 2017. Microsoft would be eligible to recoup 42% of the land's property taxes for new construction, up to $5 million annually. Microsoft plans to build a $1 billion data center in Mount Pleasant, a village of about 27,000 people in Racine County.
2 new papers have deployed the artificial intelligence chatbot in market-relevant tasks. In one study, can ChatGPT forecast stock price movements, returning predictability and large language models? Researchers used news after late 2021, a period that wasn't covered in the chatbot's training data. They found that the answer given by ChatGPT showed a statistical link to the stock's subsequent moves, a sign that the tech was able to correctly parse the implication of the news.
In an example about whether the headline, Rimini Street fined $630,000 in case against Oracle, was good or bad for Oracle, ChatGPT explained that it was positive because the penalty could potentially boost investor confidence in Oracle's ability to protect its intellectual property and increase demand for its products and services. Researchers said the advances demonstrated by ChatGPT look set to open up whole worlds of new information and make the tech more accessible to a broader community of finance pros.
Municipalities across Japan are compiling lists of vacant houses for sale or rent. Meanwhile, the Japanese central government has approved a plan by the city of Kyoto where some 15,000 houses sit empty to tax the owners of these empty homes, a first in Japan. Vacant houses are increasingly seen as a threat to suburbans and rural markets. Some of them were sold as cheap as 3 million yen, about $23,000. But after buying, in some cases, the buyers has to spend about $150,000 on renovation.
How many meters is that? It's quite long. Don't have cats.
The most recent government data reported about 8.5 million empty houses, which are called akiya in Japanese, across the country. This amounts to roughly 14% of the country's housing stock. The Nomura Research Institute predicts that akiya could exceed 30% of all houses in Japan by 2033. But Alex Kerr, who became an IKEA owner in 1973, said IKEA can be money pits. He acquired an abandoned country house in Shikoku for $1,800. But then he has spent decades and roughly $700,000 maintaining it.
I always needed time on my own. I never thought I could be there.
I take your blessings with your heartaches too. It's so easy and so wonderful to know it's you.
学习，一切从今天开始。Funday 英语。
After years of wrangling over regulation, Japan approved plans for its first gambling resort last Friday. The decision will allow a casino in Osaka to open its doors by the end of the decade. Japan's Oryx Corp has been working on the project in partnership with MGM Resorts International. The plan for the resort on Yamashima, an artificial island in Osaka Bay, still faces the remaining hurdle of obtaining a casino license if it is to open as scheduled in late 2029. The initial investment will be 1.08 trillion yen, or $8.2 billion.
The Japan Tourism Agency said the proposal is for a so-called integrated resort that combines hotels, conference venues, and gambling facilities. An opposition Japan Innovation Party politician, Hirofumi Yoshimura, who won re-election as Osaka governor at the weekend, has thrown his weight behind the Yumeshima plan. Despite Yoshimura's support, polls have shown mixed feelings about casinos in the local community.
A video surfaced Tuesday of French President Emmanuel Macron singing a traditional song in the streets after a televised address. Many internet users suspected the footage was fake using AI or other means when it first emerged. But people close to Macron told the media it was genuine. They said the president took a moment with his wife after his speech on Monday evening. They encountered a group of young people who was singing, so he joined them in a song from the Pyrenees which he knows and loves.
In the nighttime video, Macron can be seen reading from his phone the words of La Refuge, a song about a lodge in the mountain range on France's southwestern border with Spain, surrounded by men in their 20s and 30s singing passionately. The incident might at first have seemed a welcome show of connection with voters for the president. However, the video was first published on the Facebook page of an organization called Projet Canto. The group describes itself as preserving traditional songs in digital form.
A new analysis of Census Bureau data revealed that between 19% and 22% of women aged 18 to 25 identify as bi. That makes them the main driver of the surprising statistics from Gallup polling last year, that 19.7% of Gen Z is LGBTQ. The analysis by psychologist Dr. Jean Twenge means that extrapolated across 68 million strong Gen Z, there are 7 million bisexual girls. Many have wondered what's behind this unprecedented spike. One theory is that social media could be a motivating factor.
Gen Z bisexual women include the 22-year-old daughter of Will Smith, Willow. She came out as bisexual and polyamorous to her mother Jada Pinkett Smith during a 2019 episode of their Red Table Talk show, saying, "I love men and women equally and so I would definitely want one man, one woman." Riverdale actress Lily Reinhart came out as bisexual in 2020, and said, "It just didn't seem like a big deal to me. The way I look at the world right now, I'm like, isn't everyone bisexual?"
After 35 years and almost 14,000 performances, the curtain fell on The Phantom of the Opera at the Majestic Theater in New York on Sunday night, as the longest-running show in Broadway history took its final bow. Tickets for its farewell show sold for well over €400 online, but that didn't deter the 1,600 spectators who packed the sold-out venue to see the final performance, which concluded with a rapturous standing ovation and a shower of golden confetti.
Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical premiered in 1988 and has been seen by 20 million people, grossing over €1.2 billion. But despite weathering more than 3 decades worth of terrorism, financial collapse, and war, the producers decided to end a record-breaking run after posting losses due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Cast members past and present took to the stage at the end of Sunday's performance in New York, alongside Webber, who dedicated the show to his son Nicholas, who died of cancer at the end of March.
Now let's take a look at today's vocabulary from the Phantom of the Opera segment. Number 1. Deter, 阻止, 威吓, 使不敢. These measures are designed to deter an enemy attack. Number 2. Spectators, 观众. They won 4-0 in front of over 40,000 cheering spectators. Number 3, rapturous, 欣喜若狂的，狂喜的，欢呼。The team received a rapturous welcome. And that's all we have for today's news. Be sure to tune in to Funday's news from Monday to Friday and click the link below now to join Funday for free. I'm Wei Li, your host. I'll see you next time.